Talk Forest TV. Max Newton here with a quick review of Forest 0, Manchester City 6. Obviously a big defeat for the Garibaldi, but I think it just shows the light years of difference between the sides like Manchester City and probably to a lesser extent Liverpool and the rest of the division. You know, there's a reason why a couple of years ago both Liverpool and Man City were, I don't know what, 20 points ahead of third place, having been able to go through a season with barely losing a game and barely dropping any points. You know, probably one of the most expensively assembled sides in the world, one of the most expensive squad values in the world. And although we've spent a bit of money and we've got a load of new players, the value of our squad pales into insignificance compared to Man City. So I think I was texting my mate, who was a Derby fan, at 5-0. He was texting me going, I can't take the mick out of you at the moment. I can't get any rise out of you because this is fine. I said, yeah, this is fine. It's not unexpected. We are still a promoted side. We are still a side that the value of the squad pales into insignificance compared to Man City, and we are still a new side, a new squad, getting things together. Having said that, I was hopeful that we'd get something, and I was hopeful that we might score a goal and perhaps create a few more chances, and hopefully get something out of it. Because having said all of that, what I just said, at the end of the day, it's 11 men against 11, and they're just men and they're just footballers. But we need to remember how well we played against West Ham, against Everton, against Spurs, and take that into the next 6 games, which are all games in the second division in the Premier League, so not in that top 4 division, top 6 division, and they're all winnable games, starting against Bournemouth at home on Saturday. I think the things that stood out for me from the performance, I think Joe Worrell played really well. Albeit he got beat by the absolute beast that is Haaland for the first goal. I think Taiwo looked really good when he came on, and I think I would start him up front through the middle on Saturday. So far this season, and I think probably on last season as well, I think Brennan's best position and getting the best use out of Brennan Johnson isn't up the middle. So I think that'll be a rejig, and I think Taiwo looked really good. The other outstanding performers from the day were the Forest fans, from first minute to last, bar from a brief reprise of Blue Moon at some point for a minute or so. All you could hear were Forest fans. Absolutely did themselves and the club proud. Massive credit to every one of them. Big up to Richard, who sits behind us, and the boys that went up. Did absolutely brilliant. Didn't stop singing. Even got the Olays in towards the end when we reopened Man City up a little bit when Taiwo was on. Perhaps we'd worn them out and tied them out a little bit. So yeah, not bad. Again, like I say, disappointing that it's because it is 11 men against 11 men. It's always disappointing to lose games and concede that amount of goals, but the players and the fans and the manager and everybody with the club should leave with lessons learned, with heads held high. I think probably the other thing that I take away from it is that I think Taiwo should be number 1 centre forward striker, and I wouldn't be surprised if in the final day of the transfer window tomorrow we're in the market for another striker, for competition for that striker straight up the middle place. I would like to keep Sam Surridge. I've seen rumours of him going out elsewhere on loan, but I think we should keep Sam Surridge. But I think we'll also be looking to bring in another player. Again, I think Emmanuel Dennis looked good when he came on, but it's a poor free kick, and perhaps there's a few times towards the end where we had a bit of possession around the box where we could have shot more. But yeah, on Saturday, come on, you Reds!